the Pulse, and we are bringing you a lot of conversations after this quick turn because the Electoral Commission is holding a news conference. They've been titled for a while, and for the first time, they'll be addressing the media. There are a lot of questions on our mind, and we'll be putting that question to the EC. Please stay with us. Thanks for staying with us here on the Pulse. Your election headquarters will be on the ground tomorrow at Ablekuma North from polls opening to polls closing. Well, senior editor and head of our political desk, Mensah, joins me with our coverage plan. Evans, fill us in. What exactly should we expect tomorrow?
So tomorrow we obviously starting at 5 a.m. Obviously because we need to make sure that we are there on time to see the build-up towards 7 a.m. when polls will start in just 19 polling stations. It's 19 polling stations, and it's so interesting, obviously, because of everything that's happened in the last few days. And so we need to make sure that we are bringing our audiences all the action before, during, and after. And if you wake up in the morning, you're probably tuning into AM show, you're probably tuning into Joy Prime or Super Morning Show. All these platforms in the morning will be very heavy on the Ablekuma North by-elections with our reporters spread across the constituency. Yes, it's just in 19, we're going to have as many as 5 reporters, all very equipped to bring you live coverage as it happens. And we're doing this jointly with our colleagues in Adom because we all come together when it comes to covering elections such as this. So if you have 5 people with a small geographical area within the 19 polling stations, you have everything covered. There's nothing you can miss when you join us. Nobody else will do that in this media environment with 5 reporters on the ground, all very equipped to bring you live television coverage. So that is what we're going to do from the morning. So all through the morning from 6 a.m., right from there, we follow with the desk, which is from 10 to 11, and then you go to midday. So throughout the day, you're not missing anything. We're going to be very, very heavy on what is going to be happening in Ablekuma North. And then, of course, in the afternoon period is when you come in with Pulse from 3. But between that, obviously, we are watching as things develop. If there's something, we'll go live instantly with our question. And then from 5, when polls close, we have a special show, the results show, where we're going to have the strong panel of leaders in both NDC and MPP. And we just confirmed these leaders who will be joining us. The Deputy Director of Elections and IT for the NDC will join us in the studio. He is going to be there on the ground because he's leading the team, but he's going to be here at 5. When polls close, he's going to leave and join us at 5. And then you're going to have the MPP says that they're boycotting this, but we've seen that the candidate says
it's fooling.
We're going to have the Deputy General Secretary of the MPP with us here when polls close for that special show. And we're going to have the Professor Asasante, who is a senior political science lecturer at the University of Ghana, will also join us. And then the pollster with the Global Info Analytics, Musa Dankwa, who done some work there, who predicts that NDC will win. He was here on the show, PMS with me. It was very clear that he will win. So we'll see.
And I'm looking forward to you on the smart wall. Our smart wall always gives us the figures.
Yes, we're looking
forward to that.
We're going to activate the smart wall tomorrow. We're going to have the software uploaded for the analysis, isolating just Ablekuma North and doing analysis. Our research team has done a good job trying to mine the data there. Even the 19 polling stations, the question that we haven't quite answered is, in every constituency, regardless of whether it's a stronghold of NDC or MPP, they are within the constituency, strongholds of the parties. So although Ablekuma North is a stronghold of the MPP, they are within Ablekuma North. Various electoral areas and polling stations have lean NDC or MPP. And some of them have voted NDC all the entire period that they've been created, and others have, although overall, MPP will win. Now, the key question we'll be answering tomorrow is the 19 polling stations, where are they? Which of the two parties have these polling stations in their strongholds within the constituency? So that will tell you a bit about what you can expect when the outcomes are. That's the sort of granular detail that we are looking at in terms of giving you some analysis of this from 5 all the way to 8. We hope that by that time, in 19 polling stations, the rest have already been collated. So we should, within an hour or two, that should wrap up. But if it doesn't wrap up, this is the election headquarters. We don't stop until we know the outcome.
Indeed, we are. And so you need to stick and stay with us tomorrow on all our social media platforms. We're Joy News on TV. MyJoyOnline.com will be giving you all the stories as it comes to you live on all our platforms, as well as Joy 99.7 FM, Joy 99.7 FM. That's the place to be glued on tomorrow. But Evans, this is happening at a time where the NPP, for the first time, we're seeing a candidate go ahead to declare that indeed they will be partaking in an election that the mother body have openly, even on your show yesterday, told us that they would not be a part of this. Does that change the dynamics?
It does. It does significantly. But it's also the first time we're seeing this play out, playing out. The first thing it does is it puts the MPP at a significant disadvantage. You are sending mixed signals to those who may be deciding to vote for you. That isn't good. Those before yesterday, in fact, those before today, a lot of the supporters would have had the party say we are not participating. So what then tends to happen then is, okay, if the party is not participating, what's the point in showing up to vote, right? So that, and then this today, just 24 hours, in fact, less than 24 hours before the day, Candy says, I am participating. How many people would have seen that interview on Joy News, for example, Limited? Because again, it hasn't got enough time as the party's press conference have had, because that came first. So that's the first thing that MPP is doing, is shooting themselves in the foot quite significantly because of this divided position on Ablekuma North. The candidate matters more than anything else because her face is on the ballot. But what she's saying is coming too late. So that is the first challenge that they'll have. The second challenge that they'll have is it creates an impression of the party that obviously doesn't know what it's doing, right? I mean, the party is the ultimate. The candidate is subject to the party. So how on earth does a party take a decision at a very high level, announce it in the woman's presence, only for her to break ranks? Again, it raises all manner of questions, especially when just a few hours back here on the show around 10:30, the party general secretary, deputy general secretary was telling me it's a no. And this week I was talking to the general secretary himself and the deputy general secretary both, one on Tuesday, one on Wednesday, and they both were like categorical no. And then all of a sudden, hours later, Candy says she's participating. So that has an implication when it comes to the perception of the party. And so those neutrals, so the first impact is on MPP sympathizers and voters, traditional voters. The second impact will be on the floating voters, middle class guys who float, who haven't made a decision yet. And there are people like that in the 19 polling stations who look at the party and say, well, this party isn't serious. If I want to make my mind up in the 24 hours or whatever it is to go, I will not. The person will be evaluating with a party that appears not to know what they're talking about. And they are divided between the party, and it doesn't help their cause with that group of people. And that group of people is very important because they flip the votes, really, because your core base will vote for you whatever happens. But even your core base, you need to galvanize, giving them a reason to go. That's why apathy. In fact, that is why the NPP primarily lost elections last year, because their core base didn't show up to vote. They know that's a problem. They have to find a way to galvanize them to vote. This doesn't help the cause. That's the second problem. The third problem they have with what they've done is you have, even the Electoral Commission itself obviously is going to have you on the ballot nonetheless. The woman has said that they will go. But here's the thing. The process towards tomorrow didn't start today. EC has been printing ballots for the last few days. They've written to the parties as of Monday, asking them to come and monitor the printing. Because of the position that the party has held at the time, they did not dispatch monitors and agents to go and monitor the process of policing the printing. So again, printing has happened without them. Ballot boxes have been taking ballot papers have been printed and sealed without them. They possibly will not have their seal on the papers because, again, they said they had boycotted and they're not participating. That clearly is a huge problem. Also because we know the parties don't trust the EC. Both the NDC and PPP, they don't trust the EC, although we know that the process checks out in the end. They were not there to monitor the process, to give them the reassurance that this process leading to the vote had been above par. So that, and again, is a problem for the MPP. Now that you decided to go, as I said, winning an election in Ghana doesn't happen on the day. You have to start from, you have to watch the entire process. That's what the law requires, that the agents follow the process through. And the EC wrote to them, they didn't go because they positioned the ticket. So again, they shot themselves in the foot there. So they are at a significant disadvantage now. Between now and 6 p.m., the party must clearly come up with a definite stance on the matter because of the division. They have to declare, are they with the woman? And the 4th point then is, if they make that point, now the woman is essentially campaigning alone with her own people. NDC, they've been there with Asiru Nketia, national chairman, general secretary, ministers are going there. You know what I mean? They are deploying all the big guns there. Because of the NPP's position, the woman is doing this alone with her people. Okay. How do you cover the ground and bring the firepower that you need to convince people?
Legitimate questions.
So that's why they need to now declare. And when they declare that they are participating, then the whole force of the party descends to the constituency. The question is, if you need to do that, too late or too late, possibly.
Less than 24 hours. Well, we are your election headquarters.